Greetings everyone and welcome back to Marble Hearth and of course to Rimworld, where in the last episode we finally activated the monolith. Whatever it is that's stirring beyond that crack in reality, it is now very much aware of our presence and aware of the fact that reality seems thinnest. The boundaries between us and what lies beyond seems thinnest at this location. So we're going to start seeing interesting things popping up. Now, obviously, we are, experiencing an interesting thing in that the grey pall is here. Unfortunately, very rotten smelling, acrid fog has descended on the area. No one's particularly happy when they're outside of the colony, but it shouldn't last for too terribly long, so hopefully this won't be a problem for overlong. But right now, we are definitely struggling with the psychic suppressor. I think it is high time for us to head out and shut that down. What I will not do right now, though, is head out immediately, and that is because it has been a while since Cassandra said hi. It has been 6 days, and that's an unusually long period of time for Cassandra to be quiet. If we have a look at the graph, you'll notice the regularity of the attack. So I would say we're due one in the next day or two. I would rather not have our most able-bodied colonists away from the colony at that time. But what we can see is that there is a propensity to have two events fairly close together. One will be a major event, one will be a minor event. The minor events don't always have to be negative in nature, and that's why sometimes we get things like transport pod crashes. But these events are going to trigger around, and we are due a major event sometime soon. So we're going to be hanging out in the colony for now, with a view to heading out once the next major event is complete. Perhaps we'll give it a day or two extra just to see if a minor event also spawns that will need our more combat-capable colonists around to deal with it. But the hope is, of course, that we can get out there relatively soon and deal with this psychic suppressor for good, because I'm kind of tired of half our colonists being in a bad mood and sleepy all the time. For the time being, though, it continues around. Plumber Mac doing a good job over there, getting the grey fog cleaned up off the floor. In fact, the grey pall seems to have stopped falling, so it's now mostly what exists on the ground as is. We are having Bubbles build the door behind our steel mini turret. Very, very happy with that one. If we can get this wall completed as well, that would be fantastic. But for that, we're going to need a lot more slate. We've got a lot of things going on that need slate, actually. So how about we do a bit of expansion? We need to expand. Ooh, Harbinger tree sprout. Okay, now this is a very, very interesting item. Okay, so let's have a look at the Entity Codex. This is 100% a specialist item. So in the Entity Codex, the Harbinger tree, a gnarled tree that grows a flesh-like covering around a bioferrite skeleton. Harbinger trees are capable of feeding on corpses and raw meat, and will consume those placed nearby. If well fed, the grove will continue to grow. The tree can be harvested for twisted meat and bioferrite. In a tribal myth, these trees are the emissaries of a mad, shapeless god who rules an endless black ocean. The myth ends after the shapeless god reaches up from the water and tears down the sky. Okay, this is our first, our second entity, since the monolith is considered one of them. We've got two trees down here. What I would absolutely adore is if we could move them, but sadly it doesn't seem like we can. But this is now an extremely attractive location for us to put any corpses that we get. We're no longer, and that includes skeletons, by the way. We're no longer going to be storing them out here, letting them rot. We are, in fact, going to feed them to the Harbinger trees. That seems to make the most sense for me. Let's create a corpse stockpile around the Harbinger tree. Let's expand that corpse stockpile over here. There we go. Very nice big corpse stockpile. I'm going to say this isn't a super high priority. Mostly I want rotten, with the exception of specifically animal. I don't want to store animal corpses unless they are rotten. So we're going to actually have to create a kind of a double stockpile here. And the way that we're going to do that is I'm going to hollow out a little section around the middle. There we go. That will be for our secondary stockpile. This one will only allow rotten and fresh human-like corpses. So I'm going to take off animal corpses. Entity corpses? Let's say no to that for the time being. We will go for human-like, though. We're not going to send our colonists down here. Obviously, we're not going to send our slaves down here. If they have worked for the colony, they at least deserve a proper burial. Ghouls, now, this is an interesting one because they could be our colonists. I'm not sure if ghouls are considered colonists for the sake of this. I will let it happen for now, but we'll allow corpses with heads, corpses without heads. Unnatural corpses can go down here as well. We will leave these as is, but the slaves and the colonists do not go down here at all, and that's both for rotten and it is for fresh. Secondly, we are going to create another dumping zone, and I'm just going to start it there and then expand this out. There we go. Let's just make sure we're going in the right direction. There we are. We want this one to... Well, is that one normal? Yeah, they're both normal. That's fine. This should be only for rotten. And at this point, again, no colonist, no slave, but every other type of corpse. If it's rotted away, I don't want our colonists seeing it. But the Harbinger trees will happily eat a skeleton as much as they will eat a fresh body, or indeed rotten meat. With that, I'm going to create a bunch of work orders for my bots, which is a pain. So what I'm going to do for now, I'm going to remove these zones. We'll just shrink those zones completely. But I'm going to say that these are going to be low priority jobs for the time being. Let's just pop those on low. So the corpses will be brought down here as one of the last things that haulers do if they haven't got a more senior priority job to take care of. But as I was saying, we kind of need to expand out, and one of the ways that we could expand out is our bedroom. It is quite small. Also, I would like a dedicated hospital if I could get one. To that end, I think maybe it's time for us to start digging a little bit further back in here. I think I will have this be a regular wall, though. That way we can isolate corridors just in case we get an attack. The other thing is we could expand out the storage room, and there might be a reason to do that. It is getting quite cramped in there. But the problem with that is that it encourages me to use it, and I don't really want to. The more we store, the more wealth we have, and right now our wealth is, well, it's becoming a problem, let's be honest. So I'm going to create a little corridor leading back over here. Let's have a look. We could have multiple barracks for our colonists, or I could have start moving towards individual bedrooms. I don't dislike the idea of that, I must confess. I kind of like the idea. We're not going to make them too massive. I think something around this size would be more than enough. I realize that there is kind of an optimal size for bedrooms in Rimworld. I just dislike it. If I'm perfectly honest, the idea of needing that much room for a single person is frankly offensive. But I'm going to make 2 rooms. These will be for the Oath Druid and the High Speaker, if I have remembered that term correctly. Let me just double check that. Or is it Truth Speaker? It might be Truth Speaker. No, it is High Speaker. There we go. We will set this up. These 2 rooms will be unique, and it seems reasonable because those colonists are starting to have much higher requirements based on the seniority of their position. And that will shift out a little bit of room over there. These will continue to expand out as time permits. I think that should be more than good enough. We can then change a couple of these beds over to dedicated hospital beds, and maybe we'll move a part of the barracks elsewhere in the future. But this should give us a bunch of slate blocks that we can use to make all of the walls and the doors that we very desperately need. I'm going to move kibble storage out here. It won't matter that the kibble is outside of a room because it pretty much will never spoil anyway, and it'll be on shelves regardless, so it's effectively protected from the elements. I just don't want kibble always stored up, and I'd also very much like to introduce a trade beacon into this room so that we have the opportunity to trade some food away. I have, for the time being, reduced the amount of meals that we're trying to stockpile. because we are stockpiling an enormous amount of food as wealth, and that is very, very much not in our best interest. But it is presently the 10th of September. We have a new Militor gestating. It's going to be another 8 hours before it's done. And finally, our colonists are getting to breaking down some of the unnecessary gubbins in storage. So things are going well for the time being. Everyone, please join me in welcoming Beatram to the Militor group. We now have a total of 4 Militors available to us. This is going to be a very big force multiplier for Periapsis specifically. Periapsis now as a single colonist, if they were to go out with a view to enacting violence, would be able to bring 4 Militors with them, which is a significant amount for just a single colonist to present. Now, if Periapsis isn't in the colony, and the Militors are, they're not going to be as controllable as usual. I can still, to some extent, move them around via zoning, but they're not going to be as useful. So, generally speaking, if Periapsis isn't at the colony, neither will the Militors. The workbots can stay here, and they will just continue doing their job, but the Militors' main job is violence. So, pretty much if Periapsis goes out on an expedition, whether it be a trading caravan or perhaps to deal with a psychic suppressor, then all 4 Militors will be joining them. To that end, I do need to make sure that you are equipping yourself correctly. Let's just see, what's your mag count? It's pretty much 2 across the board. Have you got the same? No, you do not. Let's make sure that you do then, so that we've got plenty of shots available to you for the types of work that you're going to be doing. Though, honestly, depending on the job, if we are going out to deal with a psychic suppressor, which is definitely a mech related threat, we'll probably leave the buckshot behind and load them up heavily on EM and slugs, just to see what we can do. Though ultimately, I would really rather prefer them not to get into a shootout with mechs, because I fear that the mechs, full-on combat mechs, like Militors are kind of combat mech light. They're not the same as a Lancer, for example. We are very much going to want proper combat mechs for dealing with that kind of thing. As for the Harbinger trees, having a good old Monch down here, which is going particularly nicely for us. I'll probably select a couple of the random skeletons around the map and feed them to the Harbinger tree. I would like this grove to grow. It's a particularly useful resource, especially because if in a pinch we need meat, we can just chop the trees down for that. Got a tiny little bit of mining to do in here, and then we're more or less done. We have installed 1 door there. We've still got a couple more to go, and as you can see, I've already laid down some plans for some extra defenses around this area. Oh no, Vanya lost one. She will smash up random furniture, items, and structures. Why? My fiance jerked out. When are you going to get over this? Actually, I can easily see when you're going to get over it. I'm sorry. It does suck, but in 6.4 days, you'll stop being upset about it. I guess you didn't like them that much. A solar flare has begun, and a manhunter pack has activated. Cassandra, you scoundrel. You know that I've got a turret now, and you're like, no, that would be far too easy. Oh, you scallywag. A pack of manhunting hare have entered the arena, driven insane by this disease known as Scaria. Well, this is a fairly easy one for me to deal with. We just need someone over here to shut down that door. Vanya, how fast are you moving? You're probably not moving super fast right now, but I would love it if you would head over here. Oh, you're moving super slow, actually. Is there anyone slightly faster? Periapsis, you're relatively quick on your feet. Go, go, go. We need to get down to this door right now. Move quickly, if you could, please. They have to go around the long way. Periapsis, come on. I need this door to be closed. No more hold open. Are they coming around? No, they're mostly just confused, and that's perfectly fine by me. Right, now you've done that, slip back, and no one can go through that door for now, including the bots. Okay, well, the moving of all of the corpses is now off the to-do list, but that's fine, I suppose. One of the boomlopes is giving birth. Fantastic. I could, of course, get a little bit of training in for some of our less capable shooters. That might not be a terrible idea. Let's have a look. Right now, well, I think, by and large, our combatants are not too terribly bad. 6 is the lowest so far. Okay, 4 with Rizal and Aquatami and Manu. So Rizal and Aquatami could both do with a little bit of training in this regard. Now, it's something I've been thinking about for a little while. and that is to change out our current loadout sidearm. I'd like to give people a spare weapon. Right now, that is just a knife. So if I were to select any of them, the only scout setup we have right now is the M1911, but everyone pretty much has a knife as a backup melee weapon, with the exception of Manu, who is full-on melee and has a gladius. I wouldn't mind perhaps giving our rifle users and shotgun users something a bit more, well, maybe less of a concern for our shotgun users, but definitely for our rifle users, a smaller pistol-like weapon for them to use. So if we have a look at weapons, and we specifically go across to craftable, UMP-45 seems like a good choice, specifically because its weight is fairly low. It's got a decent range. It actually outranges the shotguns by a fair bit, as it happens. Massively outranges the M1911. If I have a look at the M1911, that is... How much do you weigh? Your mass is 1.11 kilos. The UMP-45 is 2.5, so it's a little over twice as heavy as the M1911, but in terms of everything else we've got, it's quite light, with perhaps the exception of the MAC-10. The thing with the UMP-45 is it carries 25 bullets and it uses a .45. What about the MAC-10? Is that also the .45, so it might not be a bad choice. All things said and done, I'm trying to keep our ammo usage a little bit more standardized. Once we get to the point where that everyone more or less can use the same ammo, I will be so happy, because this room is kind of a mess. But I may go ahead and give Aquatami and Rizel some pistols. Now the problem is I can't do that for the time being, because this is all shut down. But I think I'm going to have a bit of a closer look into the two weapons, try and decide which one I like the most. This one is quite short range, so I'm kind of leaning towards the UMP-45 right now. Accuracy is also better. The spread also much better. And there's almost no difference in their relative cooldowns between shots. What might be the difference is what kind of firing modes they have. Leave this with me, and when you come back, I will have set up a production build for everyone and adjusted the loadouts as necessary. But we're probably going to start transitioning to a smaller caliber sidearm for many of our loadouts moving forward. Okay, Aquatami is the first to be equipped with one of our new submachine guns. We actually had two in storage, which made this quite a lot easier. The MAC-10 has got a fire rate twice as good as the UMP-45, but I think we'll go with the UMP-45 middle ground. I've set up a associated loadout for them. Now, in terms of your weapon, let's go with hollow point. There is no reason for us to be firing anything else, practically. So hopefully... Oh, do you not have any? Did you only grab a few? No, you most definitely do have a couple. How about you go ahead and just stand right there? There we go. And reload, if you could, please and thank you. And then just take them out if you are able to. We've got a decent fire rate there. I've popped them onto snapshot rather than accuracy, because honestly there's very little reason to switch over, but you do empty the magazine very, very quickly on that one. I believe the UMP-45 has a magazine rather than a clip. Again, I'm not really familiar, but I'm just kind of judging based on that the magazine is basically external. It was explained in the comments that the magazine is something that's kind of slotted in externally, and the magazine itself is quite visible, whereas a clip is something that's inserted perhaps into the handle of a weapon, for example. But this is actually going quite well, and quite a lot of these are not rotting, which I'm very, very happy with indeed. There are an awful lot of them still over there, though. I could probably get quite a few more brought down to us if I just allowed a couple of the bots to go ahead and grab whatever was available. But given that the temperature is quite low, I don't think we need to. I think we will just go ahead and every now and then send Aquatami back out to try and engage. If they've wandered down this far, that should be fine, but otherwise we're just going to let the bodies lie there until it's safe for us to head out and grab that. Ah, there we go. The solar flare is over. Fantastic. Though I will say, based on what we just observed there, that I think we are going to go ahead and change this loadout a little bit. So right now I just gave you twice as much ammo as you normally have. Let's increase that to 3 full reloads for each type of ammo. And I'm going to say let's not use, well, to be honest, using the AP on this weapon, I'm not sure we're really going to be doing it that often, but nevertheless, I will update that loadout a little bit. There we go. But we've got quite a lot of work still to do, and no time like the present to do it. We can't really head out right now anyway. Still waiting on a major threat to occur before I send the troops out to try and hopefully deal with that psychic suppressor. Okay, and we have now finished deep drilling, so it's on to ground penetrating scanner we go. It is currently the 12th of September, and so far other than the Manhunter pack, we've not really heard anything from Cassandra. I'm starting to get suspicious. Okay. Whilst the bots are getting on with a little bit more work, I have decided that I would genuinely much prefer it if we simply remove the enemies rather than allowing them to stay there, because that causes all sorts of problems later on potentially. Let's go ahead through here. We will allow this to be held open though. Let's bring our group out. Well, ideally I would like them over here if I could, just so that if the rabbits suddenly sense our presence, we will have a firing squad to deal with them. Oh, there we are. They have immediately sensed our presence, actually. Okay, well, that's not a... Oh, a bulk goods trader from the Gubia Pact is on their way. Well, that is rather awesome, actually. Maybe I could just let them deal with them. You know what? That is exactly what we're going to do. Look, we have been given an opportunity here, and I intend to make the most of it. So with that then, let's go ahead and bring our mechs back. We are nothing if not pragmatic about such things. We want to make sure that everyone is in the colony only. There we go, and you're free to move. Bubbles, you're going to have to give up on the work you're doing right there, but that's fine. Once we're inside, the hares will have direct access to the traders, and I mean, I'm sure the traders would rather they didn't, but you know, this is Rimworld after all. You don't always get what you want. There we go. We will just mark all of those to be available for us once the time permits. Now, while all of that is going down, I have been having a bit of a think. I know, a dangerous thing to do at the best of times, much less right now, but we're going to go ahead, and since I can't build a roof, rather remove this roof from here, this is not going to be useful as a mortar nest as I'd originally hoped. I think instead what we're going to do is we're going to make this a holding cell. Now, how far along are we towards getting that? I wonder. I don't think we've actually made much progress in the way of things, sadly, though Periapsis has now been given a priority job to do dark study, and they're the only one that will. They will then do regular research after that, but it is all predicated on having something to study, and we can only study this every so often, every 20 hours, and that just is not enough. So I would really, really very much like somewhere where we can pop down a couple of other creatures. Even one right now would be fine, though right now this has no containment strength because it is considered outdoors. We need to have containment strength here in order to make use of this properly. So let's go ahead and set that up, shall we? I think we should, and I'm going to go ahead, and there is no reason for us not to tile this out properly. I might even properly put down some walls. In fact, I'm fairly certain that some of the creatures will specifically be weaker and thus easier to contain as long as it is well lit in their enclosure. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to smooth out these walls so I can get some electrical cabling in there. Now, the creatures will absolutely have seen us going through this door, which does kind of suck a little bit. So Rizel, I'm going to have you go stand over here, please, and Vanya Loswin as well, so that we can at least try and limit how much damage they're going to do. There we go. Go ahead and engage. Please don't shoot the windows, though. That would be rather unfortunate at the best of times. Oh no. Are they going straight for oh. Will they harm our animals? Well, that is something I hadn't considered. Let's hope that... Oh, we're going to have to close this door as well. Let's hope that they do change direction and go for the caravan shortly. We'll see how that goes. I don't think they can get over the fence, though, so we should be okay. They may damage the fence, but I don't think they're going to try and attack it. Sorry, they're not going to try and jump over it. They should pick up the scent of the others down there shortly, though. Aquatami, whereabouts are you? You're having a fine meal. I'm going to let you finish that fine meal. I am trying to keep a relatively smaller stock of meals available. All right, you're reloading your weapon. In that case, I'm going to bring you down here. Now, I very much... yeah, you should have been using buckshot this whole time. I only want you using hollow point if possible. There's no reason to be using full metal jackets. And as soon as they pick up the scent of the traders, we're going to stop firing bullets in that direction, hopefully. Because what we don't want to do is accidentally hit someone. Right, let's make sure that you're using hollow point. There we go. And that is fantastic. We are going to have to start worrying about firing lines fairly soon, actually. But we're doing a fairly good job of things, I must say. For the most part, we have cleared out a massive amount of them. And this is all giving us decent training too, which is the big one. That's the real thing that I wanted, was the training. There we go. Let's make sure that you're all getting this. Riles is now up to training 5. They have picked up the scent, though, so no more engagement. You are not free to fire. Please stand down for the time being. I don't want Plumber Smack to be drafted. There we go. Go ahead, get back indoors. Everything else should be taken care of. We will allow the traders to deal with them if they can, and we are going to allow all of the carcasses. Now, many of them will be spoilt and unusable for us, but a decent amount of them should be available for us as well. Now, at the plus side, if anyone does get particularly wounded... Oh, really? You're just letting them in? Oh, you scoundrel! There you go. Please deal with the mess you just made. My lord. But there we are. They should be able to deal with what remains. Okay, with that then, I'm going to tell the mechs they're allowed back. I guess I shouldn't be too unkind to them, considering I did basically use them as a mechanism for dealing with the manhunters. I probably should have helped a little bit more than I did, though I feel that we did do a decent amount of combat there as well. Right, everyone can go back onto colonist safe from now on. Actually, is there anyone on the map that isn't considered colonist safe anymore? Not really, as it happens. So I may as well just pop them on the unrestricted... Well, we'll leave her on colonist safe for now. I think it's not a terrible one to have. But if anyone does go down in here, then I can have an opportunity to heal them and get them back out there. As for Manu, it's time for me to have a quick look. Vanya, I very, very greatly dislike your artery blockage. Manu, can you heal Vanya? Are you able to fix artery blockages? It's possible. Let's go ahead and have a watch. There we go. A breakup. Oh no, Periapsis has told Rizel that it's not working out. Periapsis and Rizel are no longer in a relationship. Well, this is going to cause friction in the colony. I was building nice bedrooms for you as well. Man. Okay, did you finish what you would... No, you have not. Could you continue? There we go. Well, that is going to cause some ructions. It won't affect Periapsis as much, but Rizel will be... Yeah, Rizel is going to be quite unhappy for a couple of days. I was just dumped like a load of garbage. Can I have you console yourself? Counsel yourself, right? No, that isn't going to work. A shame. Will you please stop walking away? I am trying to fix your broken heart. Well, no, Rizel's the one with the broken heart. You've just got a faulty heart. Now, is it because there's nothing to heal? I'm wondering. Look, unnatural healing. There we go. Manu has finished his psychic healing on Vanya Loswin. Artery blockage was in fact healed. That is huge. So Manu can correct age-related senescence injuries. That is absolutely enormous. Well done indeed. Greatly appreciate that. Wow, are they all leaving? Are they just straight up leaving? Huh. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. I would have liked... Oh. Oh. Are you... Huh. I believe the actual trader went down. Okay, well, that's not great. Oh, I would have liked to have been able to take... to actually perform some trading, but I suppose having one person to rescue isn't terrible. Switch this over to colonist, medical. Could you please take care of Toxo? Who? Oh. Didn't notice they were in such a bad way. They were cut. Was that by... No, they were shot by their own people. Is there any possibility the Periapsis could get down there right now and tend to you? Can you stabilize them? Is it even remotely possible? I didn't notice that anyone went down, and that's on me. I think there's a very slight chance of that happening. No. Well, unfortunate. Very unfortunate. But this is the way of things, I guess. Go ahead and please hunt all of these. You can take them all out. The rest of the traders are just going to leave, it seems. That would have... Well, it could have gone a lot better. Let's be honest, but it could also have gone a lot worse. So I'm going to take the win where we can. It's a bit of a shame there, but oh well. You did drop a bunch of gubbins that is now ours, but there was a much greater potential for gubbins. Also, oh, you also died due to being shot. It seems that they caused more damage to themselves than the rabbits did. Quite often the way, honestly. Harbinger tree sprout. That's fantastic. So that's already starting to bear fruit. A particularly grim, morbid fruit, but definitely fruit is being born by the Harbinger trees. We'll see how big that we can make that grow. Quite possibly, we're going to be able to make it enormous on this map in particular. All right, well, we're going to continue cleaning up everything. We've got a fair old bit of work to do, but would that count as a large threat? No, I wouldn't say so. I would say this is a minor threat, by and large. So I'm going to hold out for at least until the next quadrant, or quadrum rather, before we send out a group to try and deal with the psychic suppressor. I don't trust Cassandra at the moment, if ever, actually. Okay, suppressing entities. Some entities have become more active over time, even in captivity. If an entity's activity bar fills completely, it will do something extremely dangerous. To prevent full activation, you must periodically suppress it. Wardens will suppress entities. A corrupted obelisk has popped up. A mysterious obelisk has crashed nearby. The obelisk comes with putrid psychic energy, gradually intensifying as it approaches some dangerous limit. You can send colonists to suppress the obelisk to prevent it from activating. You can also mark the obelisk for study to try to learn its purpose and perhaps make use of it. You can always attack the obelisk to destroy it, but doing so may unleash unnatural and dangerous phenomena. I see. Make us whole, Isaac? Okay, this is advanced. Well, that was very, very unlikely to happen, but sure. A large metallic pillar that emanates a putrid psychic energy. The pillar hums ominously and appears to be increasing their activity. It's not clear what will happen if it reaches its full capacity. Okay, well, the corrupted obelisk is an advanced research, and we now have access to advanced research, I suppose. So given that, well, we're going to need something on the lesser side in order to start working towards these. So, for example, Void Provocation would have allowed us to do that, but I don't believe that we're going to have access to any of these for now. So there are going to be options. We are definitely going to need to suppress this, but I will allow study. This determines whether the corrupted obelisk will be automatically suppressed when its activity is above 40%. Automatic suppression is currently off. No. We want to make sure that this is quite low. Its increases rate is 20% per day. Then I want to suppress it once it's over 20%. Let's keep it low. Let's not allow that to build up any real strength. Aquatami, being one of our wardens, will do the job. Thank you very much, Aquatami. There we go, pulling that down. Very nice indeed. It will continually upgrade, but we'll see what we can do about keeping that relatively safe for us. It does mean that Aquatami is going to be spending a lot of time outside of the con, which is not the best by a very, very large way, unfortunately. Major break risk. Rizel is not at all happy. I'm going to tell my colonists they're not allowed to come down here. So we're going to clear a loud area from colonist safe. I'm going to say that my colonists are not allowed anywhere near the Harbinger trees. I might even tell them that they're not allowed out here at all. Nothing beyond this point is colonist safe anymore. I will, however, allow them that far into the tunnels. But everything on this side is now off limits. And the reason for that is to prevent them from getting hopelessly unhappy at seeing all of the corpses in here. I could build a wall around it, but I'd rather not. And having places where I only allow my bots to go isn't a bad thing overall. I will eventually want to grab that steel, but at that point I'll probably just dig in through here and build a wall on that side. So for now, colonists aren't allowed to come down here, but the mechs are. So only my my mechs are going to make this trip. That being said, it does unfortunately mean I'm not going to be able to do some hunting. I hadn't really thought about that. We get a lot of animals coming down through here. That may be an issue, because that was actually on the list of things I was considering doing. Simply because, well, having more meat is always useful. Alright, well, we've got a couple of options then. I could send out very specific hunting parties to deal with that, though. And that shouldn't be too much of a problem, I shouldn't imagine. No, we will probably be able to do a bit. It looks like the Harbinger tree is enjoying its lunch right now. Well done. We are going to want to hunt them, so I'm going to change my plan a little bit there. I was a little bit too quick off the mark there. Instead, sure, we can make the Harbinger trees, as much as I would rather not do it this way. We can make it so the Harbinger trees are isolated via walls. To do that, though, I'm going to have to build... I'm probably going to build stone walls around the area. Well, no. No, probably going to throw down some bridges then. It's going to upset them a little bit, and for that, I am sorry. But it is probably best for us to be able to get this area sealed off, and then I can just have bots pop in there. We'll just go with regular wooden walls, though. There's no reason for anything else, and in fact, if we're using bridges, that's all we can use. And likewise up here, and then we'll just seal this area off about here, I would say, with a little door. It doesn't need to be anything particularly strong. We're not going to roof this area over. Doesn't need to be. I will make sure the roof is removed, just so things do decay a little bit faster in there. Sadly, of course, it decided that the zone that it wanted to use on the outside there. That's fine. Right, let's add in... Oh. Right, that has expanded the corpse stockpile that I already had. Not ideal. Alright, well, I'm going to need to make a point of this then. Can I get you to expand it out? Maybe if I shrink this zone so that it isn't a regular corpse stockpile there. There we go. Let's... No, it's still connected. Oh, fiddlesticks. Let's pull that right back, and now maybe it'll work. There we go. This one will allow rotten and fresh, and we only want entity corpses, no colonist corpses, no slave corpses. That will be good for this one, and then we'll just expand that out across the rest of this zone. There we go. all sorted. Took me a little bit longer than I would have liked, but well, I can live with that for now. There we go, and we'll expand that out. All right, that should do us. Right then, peeps, you got a lot of work to do. I'm going to wait for this to be built before I give the hunting job. But for the time being, should be okay. Well done over there, Periapsis. Getting some study on the go. I guess there isn't really much reason to be studying it right now, but it is going to be training up Periapsis' skills, so I'm not against that. You're absolutely allowed to go out through that door now as well. Right, okay. We're starting to build up more bricks at all times. Getting this room set up properly. Going to want power in there. So let's go ahead and run a hidden conduit through. And all the way along here as well. We'll just throw down some basic lights. And that'll be all we really worry about in this room. Well, I'll wait for the wires to be placed down first, just so that they connect correctly. Now, the next part that we're going to want... in the medium term, I'm going to pop down this fence. Then I'm going to replace this wall. The fence is just there to stop everything running away when we start replacing the wall. But this whole area now is ours, so I should be able to just deconstruct this component from here and allow our animals to have a little bit more of a zone that they're allowed to walk out in. They should be happy with that. And the cleanup continues. Okay. While Rysel interacted with the obelisk, it pulsed with energy and generated a flash of light. Rysel found herself face to face with a copy of herself. The duplicate claims to be the real Rysel and has joined the colony. Okay. We've got 2 Oath Druids, it would appear. I know who the real Rysel is, the one that's wearing clothes and also is the Oath Druid. Oh, okay. So, corrupted obelisk likes to make copies of people. How fun. Okay, well, Rysel's immediately going to go and grab some stuff. We need a way of telling Rysel apart from Rysel, so we're going to call you Laz. Here. There we go. Lazy here. That is going to work perfectly. Now, we now know what this obelisk can do, which is a concern. If there are different types of obelisks, as you can see kind of from the silhouettes, this one, it could be particularly bad. It could be okay. It all really depends on the quality of the clones, really, because not all clones are born equal, which I know is an odd thing to say when dealing with clones. Please don't wear the Altex hood. That is not okay. We're going to need to set you up. You're not an Oath Druid, though, so you should be okay. I will set you up as a shotgunner. Now, the new Rysel will, in fact, be more or less exactly a copy of the current Rysel. I believe down to their wounds as well, which is an interesting one. This is going to make things a bit more complicated for us, but it could also work to our favor. Rysel, I'm going to simply copy over your abilities right now. There's no reason not to. But I think we need to have a little bit more of a look. There is a new type of medical operation that we can do. I believe we can other surgical inspection. Now, an invasive surgery to find any hidden abnormalities within a patient. It's not... The key is here is it's invasive. They're not going to enjoy it. But I kind of feel that it's reasonable for us to want to do it. So they're just going to have to suck this up. Lazy here, you're going to have to just take this one for the team. Right, research finished. Ground penetrating scanner. Build ground penetrating scanners that can detect drillable resources under the surface. Requires an advanced component to construct. Thankfully, we do in fact have an advanced component, so I see no reason to go along and set this one up straight away. But in the meanwhile, let's go ahead and get tree sowing. Let's set that one up as well. Right, there we go. That was the next on the list of things for us to research. but getting the ground penetrating scanner is going to be incredibly important for us. So I believe this will be under miscellaneous. Yes, it will. It needs a lot of steel to set up, though, sadly. Setting it up out here seems like a reasonable place to put it. I'm going to need to deconstruct the ancient mech drop beacon, but I don't think there's going to be any particular issue with setting that one up right there. How much steel have we got? We have got basically none, which is not great. It looks like we are using it up more or less as fast as we're collecting it, largely to build vents and such, but there's a bunch of steel around on the map that we should be able to go and collect. We have got another steel deposit down here, so I'm going to set that one up to be mined. Whilst we're down here, though, let's go ahead and make this a little bit more tolerable for our peeps. I would like a brazier. We could even make a marble brazier, I suppose, because we don't have the steel to make it. What blocks have we got? We've got the most of slate, but a marble one will look nicer. So being in the presence of it would help out, but it would require a lot of blocks. So okay, yeah, fine. Slate it is then. Let's get a slate brazier, and I would like that slate brazier right about here, just to keep our miners warm. And also to keep them in light, because obviously spending a lot of time in caves is quite a daunting task for some people, and it does pull down their mood quite aggressively. So if we can get a little extra light source, that will help out quite a lot. But that obelisk is going to be a problem until we have studied it sufficiently to know how to disable it. Again, we can straight up just attack it. Probably not the smartest move, though. Probably not the smartest move. Rizel, could you go ahead and have a quick trade? Also, at this point, we're actually going to need... Oh no, we've got enough beds, technically. Maybe I will allow that one to be used by regular colonists, though, just in case. Surgical inspection results. Okay. Aquatami performed an extensive surgical inspection of Lazyher. Lazyher is suffering from duplicate sickness. Psychic interference between this person and their duplicate is causing slow mental deterioration. As long as multiple copies of this person are alive, the condition will keep getting worse. Ah. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, that is one of the potential outcomes. It does mean the Lazyher isn't any particular threat to our colony, but they are going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. And I believe that duplicate sickness will also be present on Rizel now. Yeah, because it's not necessarily like a disease. It's that the kind of the psychic weave around them is interfering because it's on exactly the same wavelength. It also means you don't necessarily want them to get kidnapped, because as long as they remain alive, problems happen. At least I believe that's the case. All right, well, we may have to deal with you, but the problem is you are technically a colonist. That is going to cause us some problems. There are ways of fixing it, I believe. I wonder if a natural healing would be able to fix it. But I believe that you can resolve it through certain rituals and also through some tech mechanisms. Right, let's have a look. What have you got? You've got another reinforced barrel. You've got 4 of them, actually. You've got some penoxicillin. You've got some medicine. And I've got a lot of gubbins that I don't really care to keep. So I'm going to try and trade all of your stuff from you, including at least one of the barrels, I should imagine. And we'll see what you'll take off our hands in exchange for it. Okay, in an effort to get rid of most of the junk that we have in the colony, I am able to buy pretty much everything, including one of the reinforced barrels. I couldn't quite make enough money if I wanted to buy a second reinforced barrel, but this is fine. We're getting 5 package survival meals, 3 medicine, 7 moxicillin, and 1 grenade launcher in exchange for mostly just tat that we have either is low quality or is low durability or is both. both in some cases, as well as a lot of the guns that we're just not going to use. So that is a very fair exchange in my opinion. Let's go ahead and get all of those popped in there. Hopefully these can all be moved as a bit of a priority so it doesn't get damaged while outside. Let's go ahead and set those up like so. But with that trading was actually concluded in a very, very good way. Bubbles is going to finish off a little bit of work here. We are going to need some more wood. I've got a funny feeling. So hopefully we can set that up relatively soon. More of the animals are moving away. Sadly, Dewdrop is down here in the cave by herself without the slate brazier available. Perhaps what I could do instead, I'm going to assume that I can simply move these. Maybe I won't be able to. So let's pop it somewhere where I might actually want it. Regardless, I could perhaps have one right over here that would eventually cover this. Maybe another one over there, we'll see. But if I can get that built over here, then that would be fantastic, as then I would be able to move it down here. I'm going to assume that it is possible to move them. I might be mistaken on that, though. Eelstar, since you made the trip, could you haul all of the steel, please, and thanks? There we go. Perfect. Right. Critical alert, break risk. Rizel not super happy. And Lazier is no longer incapable of walking. All right. Well, time for us to fill up the freezer with a load more meat, I think, considering before they all decide to move off the map. But in the meanwhile, I'm going to allow the colonists to just get things cleaned up around here. That obelisk has definitely thrown a bit of a spanner in the works. Okay, I have equipped a little clips with some better combat gear, as I have with Periapsis and Aquatami. Aquatami is now going to be using, or should be using, do we not have that weapon anymore? Let me just quickly check this out. No, we do not. That is unfortunate. Gonna have to go with the Saiga 12K then in that case. I had hoped that we still had the correct the USAS, but it looks like I may have accidentally sold that. We did have a combat trader. In fact, they might still be in orbit. And we sold a bunch of free-floating gubbins around the place, and in exchange bought a swell of components. We've got these over there. We're up to 17 now, and a couple of extra bits of medicine. It's at this point that I feel, well, confident is the wrong word, but I feel that now is the right time for us to send out a group to go and deal with the psychic suppressor. Hopefully they're going to be able to do it relatively safely, but I do now need to switch up the USAS. Let's go ahead, copy this loadout. And we're going to be going with the Saiga 12K. So let me change that. There we go. Right, this is a semi-auto shotgun. Pretty much the only thing I'm going to need to change is equipping that. Though, given that we are specifically going out to fight mechs, I'm going to probably say take a lot of... no, I want a generic setup. Maybe at some point I will actually change this out and I will have them use kind of individual loadouts that are tailored to the person rather than a job. We'll have to see if I can get that going. Go ahead and equip, please, Aquatami. You should be able to get your weapon now. There we go. Perfect. Right. Okay. A magazine-fed semi-automatic shotgun. I'm going to want you rolling with EMP for this. Periapsis, you're absolutely going to be wanting your... oh, do you not have any armor piercing? Oh, no, that's what you've already got. And Little Clips, you're going to be wanting your EMP as well. For this job, we're going to be taking all of our mechs along, or at least all of the Militors. So, Periapsis, I want this group on escort duty right away. We have enough sleeping bags. We have enough gubbins in there. It is the 1st of December. Not the best time generally for going out and having a bit of a trek, but This is long overdue, and I really don't want to have to be dealing with a clone on top of psychic suppression. There's already enough things that are going to be messing with your consciousness. If we have a look at the duplicate sickness, this is going to slowly affect their consciousness, and once it's over a certain point, they're just going to go down and they're going to be in a coma. I don't know if they straight up die from it, but they will just be in a coma, full stop. So it's time for us to set up a caravan. Okay, so looking on the world map, we have got an ancient complex over here that we probably want to check out for the end lens if we got the opportunity to. But ultimately, it's the psychic suppressor we want to go for. There's some logging work sites around the place and might be a target of opportunity for us to pop in. There are 15 people there, though, which is a little bit of a worry. The ancient complex could be anything. We simply don't know. But it is time for us to send out our caravan. So form caravan. Going to want to get over here. It's going to be about 2 days for us to get there. Except now I'm going to be sending Periapsis. We are going to be sending, auto-adding Beatram, Dakota. Yes, it's auto-adding all of the mechs that are moving along with. That's fantastic. All the Militors are coming along. Absolutely wonderful. We're going to be sending Little Eclipse, and we're going to be sending Aquatami. Now, they don't have a lot of carrying capacity between them, but the mechs absolutely do. I could also bring an alpaca for the 40 kilos, but I don't think that's actually going to be necessary right now. I think right now having 4 Militors with us is 100% okay. We're not going to have to worry about that at all. What I would like to bring along, though, are going to be a couple of other bits and bobs. We are bringing a good amount of packaged survival meals. We can probably afford to bring more of those, if I'm perfectly honest. Let's take this up to 25. Plenty of meals. We're going to want to take... Look, we're going to go up against mechs. I want to bring plenty of meds. The 3 sleeping bags, that's fine. We probably won't need anything else, so that's all okay. As for this, I'm going to want to bring along a bit of extra, some extra EMP grenades. Let's bring along an extra 30 EMP grenades. Maybe some Molotov cocktails as well. Bring along all 17 of those. We don't know what we're going into, so it just feels like it's the right call. I could bring the R6 charge rifle, but honestly, if I can avoid getting into a fight, I really would prefer it. Is there anything else we would want to bring? More of the ammo, definitely, for the Militors, though if they have to re-equip, that's going to be a problem for them. More of the EMP shells as well. Periapsis isn't really going to be able to do anything with that, so we're not going to have to worry about it. I'll also bring along some tea, just in case. Route time is 1.7 days. Days of food. We've got 5 days of food. We should be fine. We might even be able to do a little bit of something else as well. You will quickly become hungry. It's fine. We're going to be there and back again. Well, you know what? Fine. Okay. We got a stupid amount of these food items for this reason. Bring near enough 6 days worth of food. There we go. The colonists are now going to gather and grab their gear. Good, good, good. Got the mechs ready. Now, the big thing is the mechs, hopefully, we'll do a bit of self-charging whilst everyone is asleep. That's my hope. I don't know if that is how it works. Oh, Rysel and Lazir, getting on, getting a little bit of gathering. Oh wow! Imagine how complicated this would be. Yeah. Imagine how complicated this would be if they weren't ex-lovers. Oh, that would be a nightmare for Periapsis. I wouldn't even want to imagine how awkward that would become. But at the very least, we're heading out now. Manu has reached level 5 in animals. I'm very, very curious to find out if Manu is going to be able to cure the duplicate sickness, because if so, then that is going to be a huge, huge boon. In fact, that turns a negative for the colony into a positive for the colony. A pretty big positive at that. We do have the brazier built, but no one is in a particularly big rush to get it down there, unfortunately. Bubbles is getting the 3rd charging spot ready, which is quite nice. And otherwise, things are doing okay-ish. We'll have to hope that things go okay. I really would prefer Vanya wasn't the one hauling down the toxic packs, though. That should really be left to Encrypt and Silent Psychopath, but at the moment they are mostly hauling corpses. There's still so much to move. When Periapsis gets back, I think we might even look into the possibility of getting some extra worker bots. It might work. It might be in our best interest to do so. Bubble's making some good progress though on the wall over here, and as long as the good progress continues, then I guess we haven't got too much to complain about. Oh. Why did I say anything? Okay, let's have a look. Both Lazier and her duplicate are feeling unwell. What do you mean Lazier is a duplicate? Lazier is the duplicate. Oh my lord, it's getting confusing. Their condition seems to be related to the duplication process that is worsening. The psychic connection that binds them is causing them to slowly lose consciousness. The condition won't get better until one of them dies. Maybe I should have sent Lazier along. Caravan manned by Yeri. Periapsis' caravan has been ambushed by a group of 4 Yetakin from Yeri. They will attack unless you give them 5 packs of survival meals, 10 Psychite tea, a steel knife, and an alpaca wool flak jacket. No, we're going to fight. You fools. Do you not understand who we are? Also, what are you equipped with? Oh, you are so ultra dead. Wow. Wow. Okay. Is there anything on this map that I would want to take with us? There may be a couple of bits and bobs. I might be able to get some extra scrap from all of this. Mechanoid slag chunks. You'd have to build a machining bench in order to get it. But I could always haul it with us, I suppose. There are some berries here as well, but I don't think we're going to really worry about them too much. All right, let's get everyone together. And we can simply array them and wait for them to get close. In fact, fighting them from here is the better option, I would say. The mechanoids, let's move into position. We don't want to be using actually, let me just double check. What are you actually wearing? It looks like just tribal gear. Yeah, we want hollow point then. And buckshot. So switch out to buckshot, please. Aquatami. You can do the same once you're in position. You can switch over to hollow point. All of the mechs can do the same. Reload to buckshot. You should be on buckshot. Eli is on buckshot. Okay. Well, they're making their approach. This is going to be horribly, horribly bad for you. It's going to just be a firing squad. I'm not sure I feel too good about this, but I mean, they're the ones that wanted to attack us. So, no. Caravan Battle 1. You were trying to use your ability to call for aid. No. That was an attempt at calling in the animals to support them. Have they got anything of value on them? If not, then we're simply leaving. They can bleed out, I guess. All right. Periapsis, could you add this? Pick up the herbal medicine. And we're just going to leave. You can bleed out on the ground. It isn't worth the time it would take to do anything else. Wait. Okay. That is a horrible way to go. Does anyone here have melee skill enough to be able to finish off? You've got 4. You've got 5. Okay, finish off. Aquatami, can you finish off? It might be that no one can. I'm just going to undraft you all. And we'll see how this goes. Would anyone be able to deal with this? Oh, you're just having a sleep. I would kind of prefer if you didn't, if I'm honest. It might be that you don't have a weapon to do it with. Let me see if getting you to switch over to the steel knife would allow that. No, cannot capture, cannot finish off. Oh, you need melee skill of 6. Look, we tried. We absolutely tried. So that's not on us, I don't feel. Could you... Too heavy. Well, that's unfortunate. Normally you should be able to carry that. Okay. Over here. Can you pick this up? No. Well, that's very unfortunate then. Okay, well, I guess everyone needs to pick up everything. Do what you can. And you pick up the steel knife. You can hand it over later. Oh, my lord. Okay. What may happen is once we head back out, if we form the caravan again, they should be able to head on. Accept. Oh, my bad. I need to click on this. There we go. Reform caravan and head on. There we go. Make sure everyone is bringing everything they need. You've got all of this. There we are. Bring along all the medicine. There we go. That's a little bit better. Make sure you're bringing on all of the weapons. Everything is going sideways, it seems. We won't bring any of these. They're not worth our time. The mechanoid slag chunks, actually going to bring those, though. Brings us up in terms of our mass, but we can always drop it at the destination. Shouldn't be a problem. Right, you go ahead and carry on. That was a little bit of a mess there, but we still won the battle ultimately, and I'm sure they can equip themselves correctly once they get to their destination. It won't be too much of a problem. I can have them just drop the extra stuff they're bringing as part of the caravan once they get there, and then properly equip. That won't be an issue. Well, I mean, that would kind of fix the problem, wouldn't it? But no. Let's draw back. Yeah, oh, okay. You're going to need to try and shoot it, though. Can you call for aid? Let's hear calls for aid. Okay, it's dead. Well done. That was nice and easy. Okay. Well, you should be hunting with buckshot, though, by the way. But sure. We will allow this to be taken back by you. There we go. I'll just have you take that back for now. There shouldn't be too much issues there. Go ahead and haul that. I am, as you can see, intending to hunt the caribou that are currently taking refuge in the cave. Is one of them an albino caribou? Wow. How rare. Okay, as I was watching Silent Psychopath bring a headless torso down to the Harbinger trees. Oh. Ah, damn it. One of our kills was in their zone, and as such, is being eaten by the Harbinger. Oh, well, fair enough. The forest is going to take its due, I suppose. But our caravan has finally arrived. So let's go ahead and find out exactly what is going on down here. Okay. That is not ideal. It's not the worst, though, depending on what's here. All right, let's have a quick look. We have got auto-charge turret, extremely dangerous. Another auto-charge turret, also exceedingly ungood. We have got a mech ammo beacon, a mech node. A couple of mech nodes, actually. Now, they're okay spoils if we could get them, but unstable power cells, very nice indeed. Very nice indeed. We've also got a proximity activator that covers the entire... Oh, that is unfortunate. Okay, that is not going to make things easy for us. We've also got an auto turret. We've also got an... two auto inferno turrets and a slug thrower. As you can see, the ranges are phenomenal. What about you? A little bit smaller than the auto inferno turrets. All right. These are horrifying. They are basically incendiary rockets. These are traditional shots, but turrets are particularly accurate most of the time, I find. So we have a bit of a problem here. Now, they're not active yet, I don't believe. The activator will come online in half an hour. At that point, walking within this zone will trigger it. Okay. And also, our peeps are carrying various gubbins, which they shouldn't be. I kind of need to reorient the gubbins that they have got. I will bear that in mind in the future, by the way. That is not the best situation. Okay. Well, we might be here a little longer than I was expecting. Can I claim? No, I cannot. I believe because this tile is effectively the mechanoid's base, I cannot simply claim walls here until this faction is broken. And we are the dominant force in this area. And then we can claim and deconstruct. But until then, there is no claiming and indeed no deconstructing, which is a problem. All right. But there's plenty of wood, thankfully. Okay, I'm starting to formulate a plan. Unfortunately, the way the turrets have been arrayed, there is no safe route out of here. If this one was further down, then we could possibly take a safe route up, but without being able to deconstruct or claim doors, I don't even know if we could have just gone straight through there. So that's not going to be on the cards for us. And because of their positioning, these turrets basically have line of fire on everything from here to here. So we've got this narrow band where we'd be able to seek a route off the map. But pretty much everything on this side is seen and reachable by these turrets. What's the range on you? Even you've got most of that range. So this isn't the best. This is very far from the best scenario, but there's plenty of building materials. Sadly, I don't believe anyone here is actually good at constructing. No, not really. Nor have they even got the jobs active, but we're going to have to change that, unfortunately. Okay, we're not going to be able to just get in on this, because we would need to get through these doors, and we would need to take out the turrets, probably, in order to do that, because this is within the proximity detector's range, which is an issue. So I'm thinking we're going to need to do some prep work. It wasn't what I was expecting, but I guess we don't always get that. Right, let's make a temporary base over here. This is going to take us, well, probably won't take us too terribly long. Let's just get everyone in. Right, I want the mechs onto recharge. And I would like them to go into dormant self-recharge right now. There we go. They will just hang tight. They've more or less got full charge, but we don't need them for what we're going to be doing here. Who has got the beds? Right, you have got the beds. Let's drop those off. There we go. And I would like all of these to be installed, because this is going to be a cold place for us while we're doing this. So, and I'm fairly certain that the entire group probably needs a little bit of shut-eye. So, actually, let's get all the mechs drafted and move them. Oh, the mechs can actually stand guard outside. That's no real reason why they need to be in here. Go ahead and draft. I will get all of these set up. We're going to need to give you a construction job. All of you can do it, I guess. Can you cut plants? Periapsis can, and Periapsis is actually not bad at it either. But I'm going to give everyone a little bit of a job to do this. We are going to need to build a wall first and build a fire. I want them to get some shut-eye, probably build them a table. We do have meals here. And then following that, now here's the problem, is building nearby mechs can awaken them. So we're going to need to build a little bit further back, but I'm thinking a wall somewhere like that, a wall something like this, and also a wall over here. Doesn't need to be have embrasures. I'm not intending to fight through it. I just want to be able to block the turrets from being able to see me escape. Well, that's pretty much the goal. For the time being, we will need to pop down a tiny little table. No usable material. Okay, well, I'm going to have to get the usable material first then, which is kind of annoying, but oh well. Let's create a little stockpile zone out here. That should be fine. I will allow all. That's fine. And then we just want to take down the oldest trees around here. We want trees specifically. Go ahead and get that job done. Now, as for our workers, pretty much go about your business. Oh, they've automatically dropped a bunch of gubbins. Oh, well, I guess that not what I intended for you to do. I'm not going to lie. Actually, not great. Okay, but you're getting the work done quickly. To be fair, to your credit, you are actually doing this work rather sharpish. We're going to want a wooden wall. Ah, it's right at the edge. Okay, we're going to want a wooden wall in here then. I'm not going to be able to use that door though, which is a problem. Unless I can. Can someone use that door? Can I get you to go through it? Yeah, you can. Okay, never mind. Never mind then. Okay, that might work out to our benefit then. Well, in that case, I don't think I can take these down, sadly, but it is what it is. I'm going to expand this zone. It's frigid here at the moment, so I'm not too concerned about storage. I'm not concerned about storage right now at all. Let's just get some walls up. We can do the same over here, considering that is technically a door that we can use. Maybe I should have one of the bots just go and check that out. Can you go there? Make sure there's nothing bad. Okay, not too bad. It's actually already a room. I might have wanted to have put the beds in there then, really thinking about it, but oh well, it is what it is. I'm not gonna worry too much about it. Actually, all of the bots instead then can come in here. You can all hang tight in there and self-charge. There we go. We have effectively got a little place that we can make our own. Do we have enough wood down now for me to dictate that we should have a table and chair? I mean, I actually want that room to be kept cold, whereas I want this one to be warm. I could potentially tell them to keep this one hot. Well, I can't tell them to hold it open. That's a shame. Alright. Well, we haven't got the best scenario here then. We are kind of lacking on room. This isn't meant to be a super comfy place. It's just a place, and hopefully it will do well enough. Can I make a fire? Don't make a wooden brazier. They don't do as well as one might hope for containing the fire. My goodness. All right, let's try and get everything we can built and our food enclosed and protected, if at all possible. There we go. Getting the walls made. Okay. Psychite binge. Lazir? But Lazir perhaps just didn't break up with you. Oh no. It's always the way, isn't it? Okay, he's gonna last for 20 days. Oh, actually, at the very least, you can counsel. Oh, well, it won't help now. That's a shame. That would have been funny, though. That would have been very funny. If you could have counseled your clone about the fact that you got broken up with. Rimworld things, you know? Just Rimworld things. Right, let's go ahead and get a little bit more wood chopped. We're going to need some. We're going to need a fair bit, actually. There we go. If we can get that sorted. For now, we've got this place roofed. So these should stop deteriorating. There we go. Nice. You're sleeping in the cold. That sucks. Quite a lot, actually. Periapsis, how about you work on this for now? I know you would rather be doing a million other things, but let's just try and make sure that we've got something of a warm room. Please and thank you. Let's just get the roofs built. Do I need to build a roof over there as well? Okay. I think this is no longer unroofed. It's not great, by an enormous margin. Ah, there we go. Now it's going to be a little bit better. Not the best situation, but you absolute little scoundrel, you. You need to be hunted. You can come in. Oh, you scallywag. They can come in through the doors. Okay, well, I'm not going to prioritize taking you out then, but I will prioritize building one item of furniture. Well, as soon as we've got some more wood, I guess. Having to eat without a table. This is the worst. The literal worst. Critical alert, hypothermia. Dewdrop, why are you so cold? Really though, why are you so cold? Why did you come out so far instead of staying in the nice, warm, cozy base? Well, that's not ideal. This also... Oh, it's because you're mining. Okay, that is far from ideal then. we're going to need to copy this over here, I'm going to say. Find the point of least resistance. Just build a little wall there. That will isolate this place for the miners. But for the time being, I'm going to tell most people stay within the colony instead. Just focus on the colony for now. That will be an issue though. But yeah, let's get everyone back inside if they can. Come on, Dewdrop. I know it's freezing cold. I'm so terribly sorry. You need to spend a good bit of time indoors. Right, let's go back and check on how things are going down here. Place is doing okay. Toxic waste pack has deteriorated. That's kind of surprising considering how cold it is. Trade caravan from the refugee empire. They were just the loyal tribute collector are on their way. Okay. Well, this place is, it is what it is. We are getting things together. I will throw down a little shelf. I think possibly, I can just put it there just for the food, so that we can at least have that on up off the ground. Rizel is now in a daze. Please don't tell me that you did that outside. Oh my lord. Okay, Vanya, could you rescue Dewdrop? There we go. Let's get everything inside. Where is Manu? Is anyone here capable of doctoring? No, not really. That isn't great. I was hoping that no one would need doctoring, if I'm honest. Let's have a look at you. Got frostbite in lots of different places. Manu has got 8 hours on unnatural healing. But in the meanwhile, someone needs to tend to poor Dewdrop. And it looks like the best medical skill we have is a 2. And Rizel is in a day. So Lazir is also in... Oh my lord. Manu, if you somehow, whilst trying to apply ointment and bandage the frost-bitten Dewdrop, I don't know, amputate her head, I'm going to be very, very upset. Very upset indeed. Just putting this out there. Please don't kill Dewdrop while trying to treat frostbite. My goodness. The things you have to worry about in Rimworld. Okay, the caravan has been detected, and in 3.3 days, reinforcing mechanoids from the Zanmurd mech hive will begin arriving in the area. Reform the caravan and begin moving to avoid the mechanoids. A timer counting down to their arrival is now visible. Okay, well, that is unfortunate for us, but it is what it is. So we can't really stay much longer than this. I had hoped that we'd actually already be gone, but you know what? Maybe we were making ourselves a little bit too comfortable, all things said and done. I am known for such things, I suppose. All right, let's get a wall, something like that. We want the same thing over here, realistically. And a little wall over there, and that should be all we're going to need. Now, the big important part here is that I do not allow anyone to stand in these places specifically. We are going to wall off the parts of the area where I do not want anyone to walk for now. There we go. And we are then going to go into manage area. I'm going to invert area 1. And from this point on, you're only allowed in area 1. Right, these are all important jobs. I will allow you to finish work over there. You might be here for a little bit more than a day or two. And if that is the case, then I'm fine with you getting a table up and running. That would be okay. But let's try and get as much work done as we possibly can for now. Wherever we're able to. Periaps is doing a good job of cutting down the trees there. Very, very good. Dewdrop is fully healed. I am exceedingly happy about this. Manu, you do have your unnatural healing available. Where is Lazir? Manu, can you unnaturally heal Lazir of their sickness? This is going to be an important question, actually. Also, let's get all of these things that Dewdrop dropped off the floor and out of there, please. For now, though, everyone else just stay around in this area. Let's have a quick gander. Now, what we're hoping to... Oh, no, please, come back. Come back. No. Why? Oh, you scoundrel. Where are you off to? You're off to get some food. I'm not sure why unnatural healing stops them from trying to... Or rather, allows them to move away. Can you try a natural healing while they're eating? They should be still for a little bit. Right, let's have a watch. See if this works. And a natural healing. The duplicate sickness was healed. That's it? Has that stopped Ryzel's duplicate? No. Okay, so I still need to get it for Ryzel, but each person can individually be healed of their duplicate sickness. That is quite amazing. Okay. Okay, that is huge. Absolutely huge. The monolith then, much less of a concern than it was previously, I will say. Ryzel, are you still wandering around in a daze? You are still wandering around in a daze, which is a bit of a problem, isn't it? Okay, well, I'm going to allow some people outside. It is not going to involve Dewdrop, though. Dewdrop, you, and actually, you're super, super slow as well. So let's just keep you around in the colony for now. We'll see what we can do. Right, Periapsis, could I get you to work on the table at all? That would be fantastic if you could make that happen for us and get some chairs as well. It would be greatly appreciated by everyone here if they can eat not on a table. Sorry, eat at a table, rather. It would just lift all spirits, pretty much. All right, the wood for the walls is in place, so it's pretty much now down to them just taking care of the building. Okay, well, honestly, I was not expecting Manu's unnatural healing to be able to heal an unnatural sickness, but here we go, I guess. All hail the void. I swear I'm about to murder every animal on this map. Oh my god. They are eating through our food so quickly. Periapsis, can you just pick them all up? Thank you. That'll do. Alright. Well, we have now finished our work down here, so I think it is in fact time for us to get ready to head out. Okay, so with that in mind, I need to find Periapsis' weapon. Who has that right now? That is the mech here. Let's drop the knife and let's drop the slag as well. We're probably not gonna take them. I don't know. Maybe we will. I need these to be picked up. I need the right people to be equipped, so I'm going to bring you back in a moment when I've got all of that done. The mechs, however, can all be drafted and stationed down here for now, so they're out of the way. Right, now I've got to arm everyone properly. Okay, the beds are uninstalled. Everyone is about ready to go. Alright, okay, let's get them all down here, and hopefully we're just going to move into the room. It seems that I should be allowed to. Now, assuming that they don't realize that these walls are mine and then simply attack them, we should be okay. I'm very hopeful. Can I get one of you to walk in there? Oh, you're not allowed to go through this door. Oh, that's less than ideal, I will confess. Okay, step up. I'm not sure if that's going to activate things, but start beating this door down. Periapsis, I would like you to chop this tree down. So I'm going to undraft you outside allowed area. At this point, you are all allowed everywhere. Please harvest the tree. And we are done. Good. I want you to be redrafted. And go there. Eli, let's have Big Al. Can anyone? Can we not? Do I need to remove the stump? Apparently, yes. Yes, I do. Every day is a school day. There we go. That is brilliant. Right. Now everyone can hopefully destroy this door nice and fast. Right, there we are. Okay, Psychic Suppressor, an awful lot of health. Now, from what I have discovered just shooting these things is not going to do us much good. We want to just break it down if we can. This hasn't activated. Don't tell me it doesn't activate on mechs. Really? I completely took my eyes off the prize. Thank goodness that didn't explode. But they really don't activate on people? Okay. All right. The psychic suppression that was affecting Marble Hearth is gone. Okay, so what I was worried about and what I had found previously, it was an EMI Dynamo though, so maybe that's a very different deal, whereas this was just a psychic suppressor. I say just, it has been ruining the experience for quite a few of our colonists for like almost a year. But the EMI Dynamo, when it got down to about 30%, it simply exploded, and it exploded with a massive EMP blast that ruined a bunch of people nearby. So I was quite concerned that was just a new thing for all types of weapons. I'm going to say I want the caravan to reform. And I would like us to get home. Except everyone is coming with us. Bring all of the travel supplies. I want all of them. All of the bedrolls, obviously. I would... Like, can I pick these up? Now, this is the big thing. Can I just pick them up? Because if I can, that is huge. But there is a non-zero chance that I won't be able to do that. Let's see. What? No. They'd try to collect them. They would try to collect them and then they would die. That's what would happen. Right? Right. Yes, of course. Right. Right. For science? I feel that what just happened was the universal expression of a really ripe blue cheese. We are talking, if you use any utensil to handle that utensil can only ever again be used to handle blue cheese. The smell will never come off. If you touched it, your hands are stained. You will smell of blue cheese for the rest of your days. That is the level of cheese we just witnessed. And periapsis, I have to admit, I'm here for it. I'm going to be honest. I may have actually indulged a little bit too close to the sun there. I wouldn't be too surprised if in the next few days I find out I am now lactose intolerant. There's that much cheese was just consumed. I have no idea how that was even a thing. I'm so glad I decided to force science it. But I was, for the record, I was ready to hear them. Okay, they're going to go and collect all the things and immediately cancel the reforming of the caravan. But I had this itchy part at the back of my brain that when you reform a caravan, it's just instant. Setting up a caravan is not, but reforming one is. And dear gods, we just... So yeah, I am now fully expecting that by the time we get back to the colony will be on fire and be being eaten by insects and or demons. Possibly demon insects. It would be about right. The universe is going to reestablish balance one way or another. Oh my good lord. But wow, has that not been an amazing haul. I believe we took the generators. Please tell me I took the generators and not just the mech nodes. But even if I did, I'm not even going to be remotely sad about that one. I'm going to just take that one on the chin as, yeah, that's just the universe establishing some degree of normalcy. But okay, I think that they literally couldn't be a better place to wrap things up. We've still got our heroic colonists out on the trail. They will be back here in... Actually, I'm not entirely certain. Let's double check. They're going to be back in 2.7 days. They have got food for 0.5 because of all those bloody animals eating our food. That's going to be a rough one. That is going to be quite a rough one. We will hopefully be able to get a little bit of forage along the way, but it is going to be a bad time. They're going to be very, very hungry on the way back. It's not going to be fantastically great. We may want to swing by a logging work site, perhaps. Might be a better option. Still, they'll be without food for 1.5 days. They're going to be really unhappy by the time they get back, but they won't die in that time. At least I don't believe they will. The foraging will help to blunt how hungry they're going to be, but yeah, the fact that we couldn't close those doors, that was a real pain. Hopefully our colonists will forgive us. It might simply be that I didn't pick up the... yeah, there was barely any packed survival meals by the end of it. Okay, well... no, we did get the power cell, and we got a mini blaster turret. Not sure how that's gonna work. Yeah, I might actually leave that one behind. I'm a little bit tempted just to abandon that one. Let's not carry that. In fact, let's abandon it right now. Just leave that behind. That's gonna take a little bit of time off our trip, thanks to the weight, and we might want to drop all of the slag chunks as well, for the same reason. We could drop all of the steel. That's also another 30 kilos dropped off. Maybe this will help, maybe it won't. Hopefully it will. We'll see how it goes. The past steel, it's only 2.5 kilos really, so I'm not going to worry about dropping that one just yet. It's really the unstable power cells that are really slowing us down. But that is going to be where we wrap up today's episode. My lord, I was not expecting to get out of there with that much fortune. I was just going to accept getting out of there alive, but apparently we managed to swipe the mech's prized treasures right from under their sleeping noses somehow. Don't ask. I don't need the details. I only need to know that it happened. But that is going to be it for us. I hope you have enjoyed today's episode. I hope you will be joining me for the next. But until then, and as always, from myself, Periapsis, and all the colonists and mechs of Marble Hearth, do take care, everyone.